Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Game Dojo. It's your triumphant host, the Game Ninja. Yes, and welcome to 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. That's right, we do it all, we give it all, and this is not solicited. We give it to you straight. If we like it, we like it. If we don't, we don't. If that shit is nice and uplifted, or if it's dog shit, you're gonna hear it first here. We ain't gonna cut it, we ain't gonna make it nice, we gonna say it plain, stay in our lane so that you can maintain and untrust the people in this world that is insane because they keep making these horrible things and these horrible movies and these horrible endeavors, and they try to shove them down our throats. Say it with me till we can puke coat hangers. But today, what movie are we reviewing here in 2024? It is the third review of 2024, and I am so happy because we should have done this in December, but with sickness, hell, and work and everything else and holidays, it was bad. It was rough. It was rough on the brother. I'm kind of glad. I didn't know if I was gonna make it to this new year, but here we are, and I'm here. And the movie I'm talking about is none other than Barbie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And you're like, wait a minute, Barbie? Yes, Barbie. Oddly enough, yeah, you wouldn't think it's my kind of movie. You wouldn't think it's something that I would enjoy, but in fact, in point of fact, I actually did like it. I actually did like it. So Margot Robbie, what's not to like? She's Margot Robbie. Pretty much everything she's in is pretty good. And you have Ryan Gosling, which I already hated him in everything that I saw him in because I kept looking at him like, this dude is a freaking Ken doll, which is funny and ironic because they made him Ken, which is funny because, all right, so.
It's like you called it.
If you're a woman and you're uplifting women and you're for feminism and you're for the rights of women, then the Barbie aspect of this movie is pretty much for you. If you're a guy who say, I'm not going to watch this movie, I was drugged to this movie by my better half, or this is not my lane, this is not my genre.
My kids told me that to take them to it.
Ryan Gosling's Ken part is for you. So it's a duality in this movie. There's both parts written for two separate audiences, which is funny because they try to marinate it well, but the same reasons why you would have problems with this movie in real life watching it, they're aware of it and use it in the movie. The only negative thing I have in this movie is when they're in Barbie Land, yes, you see they're in Barbie Land, and I understand Barbie Land. I get it. It's a land of make-believe. I get the actions, the responsibilities, and how we got here. When they go into the real world, I get the fact that it's the real world and real things are happening and real things are different. The problem is when they come up to the part of meeting the makers at Mattel and Will Ferrell's role, it becomes a cartoon, and it shouldn't be. You should leave reality and Barbie Land. But they didn't. They did like a mashup, and it kind of didn't mesh too well for me. And then there was a part of the movie where Will Ferrell just got forgotten, and you didn't see him again until the end of the movie. Like, they forgot about him. You're like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, he is in this movie. No. He was wasted in this movie. Other than that, everything else, it landed pretty good. I like the hidden jokes. There is a lot for children in this movie, but there's also a lot for adults. Having said that, keep that in mind if you're watching this with your daughter or you're watching this with your son. There are some adult themes and adult jokes that land with adults that some children may get and some may go over their head. Once again, use responsibility and caution. There's only one F-bomb in this movie. I believe it's PG-13.
It's PG-13, and the F-bomb was bleeped out for children.
Well, not in my copy. But anyway, like I said, the story sets out with Barbie finding out, something's off about hers because I guess every Barbie doll is catered to a real woman in a real life and their feelings and emotions. And I guess when the woman started feeling devalued, Barbie in Barbie Land started feeling the same way. So she wanted to go out and find what was wrong with her and what was going on with the things happening to her. Once they get into the real life world, she gets to see the world for what it really is and how women are treated. And then Ken also gets to see the world for what it really is and how he's treated. Because Ken, for all intents and purposes, all the Kens, except for Alan, which is Michael Cera. I don't even know why all the Kens are Kens and he's just Alan. That's...
because they did make an Alan doll.
I understand that, but I'm saying...
he was the only one.
I get it, but it was out of place being Michael Cera of all people. But
I liked it.
I like Michael Cera, so it went well. But Ken is treated stereotypically like a woman would in a relationship. So Barbie would be the male role and Ken would be the female role. He really had no identity. He had nothing to his own self. He didn't have a Barbie house. He didn't have a Ken house. He kind of just, his entire identity was the other side of Barbie. And until he saw men in the real world and the way men treat women and each other, which isn't so good, unfortunately, he saw another side, and he wanted that line of respect and admiration that he saw some men have here in the real world. So he took that back to Barbie Land and changed Barbie Land. So he's kind of like the anti-hero, kind of like one of the smaller villains in this movie. And when he's Ken being Ken, Ryan Gosling is freaking amazing. He's hilarious. I didn't expect to laugh as much as I did with him and his little dojo memes and themes, but the Kens added a hilarity to this movie that without them, I don't think Barbie movie would have been as successful as it was. Barbie, they said, made like $1 billion, but the successfulness of this movie actually goes off of both sexes, men and women, because if you just had the Barbies, the movie wouldn't land as real as it did having Ken. And you would expect Ken to be the male chauvinist role of the all standard, all puffed up male, but it was exactly the opposite. Barbie didn't realize that she was treating Ken like shit. Ken owned nothing. There was no Ken house. They only had one set of clothes. They had nothing. The Kens were treated like leftovers, like accessories. So at the end of this movie, Barbie had some growing to do herself to see that Ken is not an accessory. And it's not, Ken and Barbie. It's Ken and Barbie. They both have their separate identities and lives. It was a cute little movie that I didn't expect to like. Some of the themes were surface level, but some of them were deeper and strong. Throat's dry, so it looks like that's time for me to take a hit off of that new V8 Splash.
And then
watermelon and cherry, not sponsored, but V8. If you listening to me, can you hear me? V8. If y'all want to hit a brother up, hit me up in the comments. You can hit me up at Rain Enterprises. Get that. Rain Enterprises Unlimited at gmail.com. Hit me up and let me know if you want to sponsor a brother. I get down on some V8. I get down on your products. The Splash line, definitely really good. When I'm parched and my throat is thirsty and dry, that V8 Splash.
And let's just say that when this Barbie movie came out and when the Barbies came out.
Always hits the spot.
When the Barbies came out for the toys, I went on a massive hunt looking for one of these Barbie dolls, and it took me 20 stores to finally find one.
That's the nightmare creature back there. Her Barbie doll is up there in the limelight and the spotlight. So, yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, where do we come down on this movie? What to give it? Now, in all due sincerity, it gets all the credit it needs from everybody else in the world, so it doesn't need my credit, it doesn't need my accreditation, doesn't need my rankings, my Reddits, my posts, my comments, or any concerns. Having said that, here in the Game Dojo, we rate it really the right way, 100% from us. So, Barbie. I can't give it to platinum, unfortunately, because there were few things lacking in it.
What about gold?
Hold on. Okay. You're stepping on my show here. It's just friends fun with flags.
Okay, Sheldon.
So, unfortunately, I can't give it a platinum. Platinum for me is reserved for absolute perfection, like zero room, raising the bar. You had moments where I cried, moments where I was angry, moments where I felt it. I felt pain and loss. There are movies that move you to emotions. That's reserved for the highest quality, being platinum here in the Game Dojo. And there is a double platinum too, because there's some that push beyond the envelope. Having said that, this is nowhere near the vicinity of being copper, aluminum, silver, So we're going to push this past those three into the gold aspect. But now we have 2K, 10K, 16K, 18K, and 24K. So where will we put this along the gold scale? Let's say. So the Knowing was 18K with Nicolas Cage, and that had pretty much just all drama in the end of the world. I would put this close to that same ranking because the acting for what it is, this is a different genre. This isn't drama, though it has some drama in it. This is a lighthearted comedy with dramatic undertones. There are some moments in this where they drop everything down and just talk from person to person. And I like that. I really do like that. Having said that, if this wasn't called Barbie, if you just watched this movie and the name Barbie was taken out and you took everything out of this, could you watch this movie and share it with other people? Absolutely, because there are a lot of tones, there are a lot of problems that need to be solved. There's a lot of issues between male and female relations, which in this movie come to the surface. And though made fun of, some of them are very serious in undertone and overtone. So I'm glad that the movie took the chance of going out on that, especially in society with feminism and masculinism and toxic feminism and toxic masculinity, because they both have toxic on either parts. So you get to see the avenues of every human construct coming out here, and that literally shapes where this goes. This is going to be 24K. I'm going to put this as a 24K gold movie. It's not going to be up everybody's alley because, unfortunately, the name Barbie throws off a lot of people, which, unfortunately, that's the thing in a title. What's in a name? Everybody always says that, what's in a name and what's in a title. It's the same thing with the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. If they just would have called it Arthur Fleck or Arthur, the movie would have landed better. I do understand this was Barbie and it's Barbie brand and Mattel was doing this, but if they had called it something else, like her real name or the woman who invented it, I think it would have landed better with a more even audience across the spectrum of high people and people who do like critics and critics reviews, because anybody who's really taken the time to sit down and watch it, they like it. Some people absolutely love it.
It's a movie that can make you laugh. It's a movie that can make you cry, and it's a movie that can make you touch feelings you haven't embraced in a minute.
So, like I said, it's in the name. The name is both positive and negative because it throws off some people, it dissuades some people, and then some people just jump onto it and bite onto it like a fish onto a hook. I would tell you from my aspect of me watching it, it's definitely something you want to watch. It's not going to be anything like Elephant, or it's not going to be anything like The Whale with Brendan Fraser that you're just not going to be able to get through. But there are things in this movie that sometimes you'll be like, oh, well, that's kind of stupid, but that's the point of it. It's a Barbie doll movie. Get it? It's a Barbie doll movie. But it's taking the aspect, because they say it in the beginning of the movie, for every Barbie doll, there is a woman who has that aspect, that career, that lifestyle, that admiration, that aspect, that what they look to aspire to. That's the reason why they made career girl Barbies. It's the reason why they made certain Barbies with certain jobs and certain aspects. There's a reason why they did that.
They wanted to make a girl know that they can do those jobs too.
They wanted to have something to aspire to. But on the same token, I'm a Ken doll, and I kind of wish they would have showed some more love to Kens in real life, because Barbie Ferrari, Barbie dream car, Barbie house, when does a Ken get it? Can a Ken get a camper? Can a Ken get a motorcycle? Can a Ken get a big wheel? Can a Ken get a hotel? No. But I get it because it was invented for girls. I get it. Men had G.I. Joes, and the G.I. Joe movie was for men. The funny part is, I would love to see a double feature of Barbie and G.I. Joe in a movie theater. That would have been amazing. For everybody, there was something. Come and watch the Barbie movie and the G.I. Joe movie. Oh my God. Because back in the day, those were the competing brands. If you was a girl, you had Barbies. If you were a guy, you had G.I. Joes. Now think about it. In real life, there's a Barbie movie and G.I. Joe movies, and they were both great. Put them together, Barbie and G.I. Joe. Couldn't score better, off the charts. but y'all released them at different times. See, this is what I mean when I say y'all need to get down with me on some things. If y'all had worked on a project together, picture if Barbie and G.I. Joe launched on the same day. Picture that. You would have had all your male audience, all your female audience, all your central audience, all your people in between. Think about that. Barbie and G.I. Joes. Come on, man. You couldn't lose. Think about the toy. The toy realities would be amazing. Barbie and G.I. Joes on the same day. Come on, man. Come on. Who back in the day did not get their G.I. Joes and play with them with Barbies? Unfortunately, my sister had some Barbies that met with a horrific fate at the hands of the Ninja Turtles. We won't go into that. Unfortunately, that is part of my childhood, and I have to live with that aspect because I got the shit beat out of me. But just put it this way. The Turtles was tired of living in the sewer, and somebody had a dream deluxe house, and they wanted to live in a house. And since they got kicked out back into the sewers, Barbie's dream house might have had a little bit of a fire.
And just for everybody's
there might have been an accident. So I have my unfortunate. I killed some Barbies.
And just for everybody's
my name is Rain.
On Rotten Tomatoes,
I killed some Barbies.
The Rotten Tomato rating for the Barbie movie was, the audience score was 83%, and Rotten Tomatoes actually gave it the actual fresh approval, and the tomato meter was 88%.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm a Barbie killer, and I love the movie. Take it for what you will. My Ninja Turtles may have had a hand at setting fire to an arson-filled Barbie dream house, and I may have played part in
taking Barbie's dream house away from her.
The decimation of maybe a Skipper or a Tropical Miko. So, yeah. So, great Barbie feelings coming back to the surface. Anyway, the movie's 24. The movie's 24K. You're going to like it. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to find something in it to enjoy. If you're death, blood, guts, and love like me, which that's pretty much I'm into. I'm into death, blood, guts, and love, end of the world, teeth and eyes, wear it on your sleeve. I am a drama-holic. You get an end of the world movie that's done right, and I will be there on day one. On day one. If you make it a series, I will binge watch it. But talking about Barbie. So 24K here in the Game Dojo is a pretty good rating. Probably one of the best we had. It's also the first 24K rating we've handed out in January, which is really good. Even though this movie came out in 2023, we rated it now. We wanted some time to pass. We wanted to settle. We want to see how we felt about it. It's definitely on the better echelon of movies because there are some movies out there that are really, really, really bad. This is not one of them. I like the direction. I don't like them. Look, here's the thing. I'm not a musical guy. There's some things I like with music, and I just like it. And then there's some things that I don't like. But when people just break into song and sing, you kind of lose me. So, like I said, unfortunately, there were certain aspects of this movie that I couldn't dig because it just irked the living hell out of me. But I did love them nonetheless. You stopped me before you stopped me before I finished my sentence, Wendy. I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I wanted them to not sing. That's all I said. I didn't want them to sing.
Well, the Barbies had to distract the Ken somehow.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the beginning of the movie. I'm talking about, "Hey Barbie." Do you remember that song?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
It.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When the G.I. Joe movie came out, the first thing that didn't pop on the screen was, "Yo, Joe!"
It should have.
It should have, but it didn't. When Cobra Commander's fighting all evil, G.I. Joe was there. G.I. Joe! Real American hero. It wasn't in the title.
They gave Teenage
and that was
Ninja
a loss.
Turtles a nice song.
That was a loss. And that's why the Ninja Turtles have a double platinum scale. Wait a minute. I want to clarify. The 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That gets a double platinum here in the Game Dojo. That shit was life-changing. That shit was awesome. Part 2, we dropped it down. Part 2 got a gold, but it was only a 10K gold. That's because they went friendly rating, and ninjas, for some reason, had to be censored. It's in the title, ninjas. Whatever. That's for another day. I still haven't done that yet, but that's still one of my favorite movies. But the Barbie movie, 24K, good time. Go and watch it. Children approved, adult approved, male approved. I know a lot of men are like, I ain't watching that shit. That's Barbie. Look, let me tell you something.
Any man that went to see that movie and said they didn't like it was lying. They liked it.
Watch it for the Ken aspect. The Ken aspect will have you some shit. There's something in it with Ken that will have you laughing, because they took parts of the psyche from a bunch of different men. And even me, here in the Game Dojo, Mr. Gamer, Mr. Big Time PPV, RVD, Mr. Monday Night, I found some areas in some of the Kens they had in there, and I was like, that shit was funny. That shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was funny. Mojo Dojo, bro, there are some things for you in Ken. There's part of you. I think they did it on purpose. There's a bunch of different Ken dolls in this movie, but almost every type of male personality is represented, which I think was a great aspect that they put in here. Because there's ones that you find where you're just like, nah, that ain't me. But then there's other ones you're just like, yo, I kind of like that Ken because that was meant for you. Don't forget, back in the day, some boys play with Ken dolls. That's all I'm saying. I just didn't like the fact that they had plastic drawers that was strapped to them. They never had real drawers. Like Barbie had underwear and bras and everything else. Ken had like one shirt, one pair of pants, and shoes, plastic shoes. Like Ken had no apparel whatsoever. There was no love for Ken.
When they went to the Barbie party, they had clothes.
There was no love for Ken.
They had clothes.
No love for Ken. I grew up during that era, and I'm gonna tell you, I saw my sister's Barbie dolls and I saw my sister's Kens, and them Kens had no clothes.
Didn't you hear me though? At least in the movie, when they went to the Barbie party, they had clothes on.
They had no clothes.
They had clothes.
They ain't have no FUBU Rockaware sets. They ain't have no aunts. They ain't have no Baby Fat. They ain't have no Gap. They ain't have no Tommy Hilfiger. Like, there was no sponsors for Kens, unfortunately. I salute that. I'm part of that side, Ken. I'm on your side, bro. You need to come up. We need to come up. Ken dolls need to come up. I feel you. If they made a movie called Ken dolls, nobody would see it. I would watch it.
Well, maybe they had to have a Ken beach off.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is what it is. The movie is Barbie. Came out in 2023. It was a good time. Easily a good time. It's not Academy Award winning, so it's not going to be something that you're going to be like the best Oscar for the best actor, anything like that. But it is a easy movie where you can check your brain off for once and just sit back and enjoy something. If you're worried about people being in a room watching something that ain't up to par, this movie is something you can put on. If you have grandma, grandpa, younger children, mixed crew, it's something you could put on. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but there is almost something for everybody in it. So this is definitely a general audience movie. Something you could put on, and if nobody hasn't seen it, like, you could put it on because a lot of people get thrown off by just the title Barbie. You know what I'm saying? But you owe it to yourself to watch it at least one time. One time, and judge for yourself and see where you stand. See where you fall along those modicums, because it made over $1 billion. So somebody watched it, right? Anyway, from the Game Dojo, I'm the Game Ninja. I'll check you guys out later. This is me and the Nightmare Creature chiming in back and forth. Have a lovely day. And until I see you guys next time, thank you for supporting the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you guys out next time. Peace.